And with that, we see the fires lit, the engines start to roar, and lift off. Scott Tingle, Anton Shkaplerov, and Norishi Kinai on their way to the International Space Station.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Main engine start, 0, and liftoff.
And with that, we see the fires lit, the engines start to roar, and lift off. Scott Tingle, Anton Shkaplerov, and Norishi Kinai on their way to the International Space Station.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Main engine start, 0, and liftoff of the Atlas V with Curiosity, seeking clues, planetary puzzle about life on Mars. Sound suppression water system activated. T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 3, 2, 1, 0, and liftoff of Space Shuttle Atlantis.
Hey, hi. Go on here. Is there's sound? We are live again. Yes, finally. I don't know what just happened, but my intro is supposed to have sound, but for some reason I tried to click away Netflix and then all of a sudden my sound stopped working, so I don't know if it came through. I can't listen to my own sound on my computer, otherwise it keeps looping, so you guys just have to tell me if it's working or not. So I guess I have one person watching. Hey, at least I have one other person. Okay, so what I'm gonna be doing is building a PSLV, and I already prefabricated all my. I prefabricated 5 boosters, and one of the strontium perchlorate canisters that is on the rocket, and I need to turn down my sound a bit because yeah. So yeah. Do I have something else to add? No. We hear you loud and clear. Yes. Okay. Do I need to turn up my mic or my music, or if anything is wrong with the sound, just tell me. Oh, look at my hands. They're so shaky. I don't know why. But I hate it. Yeah, that's not a picture. Okay, I can tell something about this rocket. This rocket is quite special because what I'm cutting out is the solid first stage. So this is the nozzle that is supposed to go underneath this part, and all the slots, you can see them. I can get them into focus. All those white rectangles, they are slots where either one of these go in, so one of the boosters, away, and or one of those canisters, and these are really special because instead of gimbling, so instead of flexing the nozzle of the first stage, they have these canisters with, I believe, strontium perchlorate, and they inject in the engine. They inject sodium chlorate, which causes the exhaust gases to contract and so have less thrust on the side where it's injected in. So the rocket in turn goes the other way, and for roll they use 2 of these, and they inject it either in 2 directions, so it rolls around. And that's really special because it's the only rocket that injects fluid into an engine to use as a gimbal. Also, what was I going to say? They, just like the Delta II, they ignite, at least for the XL, so for this variant, they ignite, they have 6 of them, they ignite 4 at launch, and 2 they something like SRBs. Something like SRBs. For what do you mean? Like the I don't know. Could you brief? I have a 20-second delay, so I don't know. And do I have anything? What was it? I was going to say they ignite 4 at launch and 4 they ignite mid-flight, or actually when the 4 that are ignited on the ground have are halfway through their fuel, so halfway through their burn. They know it's about 60 seconds, I believe. So at 30 seconds, a little bit more. After launch, they ignite 2 airlit rockets. And so it's like the Delta 2, they drop it off with SRB, so they drop 4 after 1 minute, and they drop another 2 after 1 minute. And it's also the rocket which has the most stage events. So they have the first stage ignition and grounded ignition. Then they have the airlit ignition. Then they have the grounded drop off, the airlit drop off, the first stage separation. Then they have second stage ignition, of course. They have I don't know, they drop off the fairings somewhere along the second stage burn. Then they have the second stage cutoff and separation. Then they have a little coast period. It depends on which satellite they launch, because the third stage is again solid, so they ignite it a little bit before they reach the highest point of the rocket, so they stretch it furthest. And then they have the third stage burnout, the third stage separate, and then you have the fourth stage, so that's on top, it's just underneath the fairing, it's just, you have this, so this is actually the second stage, this is part of the interstage, so here's a second stage engine, then the third stage is in here, and then the fourth stage, the little ring, is part of the fourth stage, and actually on the outside there's the reaction control system. It don't sound very clear. I have my mic on, but I don't know. Let me check. I have my mic on full. It's the bars all the way full, so it's at 100%. Maybe it's just because I'm using my mic from my earbuds and I don't have a separate mic. I think this one sounds better than my mic from my computer. So I know it sounds crappy, but hey, I'm doing with what I've got. Also, this is not a camera, it's just my phone going through USB to my computer. And what was I going to say? Oh yeah. And they had one figure, the last flight, no, the one before that, with one of the I believe their own navigation satellite, and the fairing didn't deploy, so the I should stop saying that. The fairing didn't deploy, so their satellite just floated around inside the fairing, and I think it already burned up, but the orbit was way lower than they wanted it to be because of the extra mass the fairing added. So the fourth stage couldn't propel it all the way to their almost geostationary transfer orbit. Yes, okay, yeah. I don't know. I think I bought new headphones or earbuds, and I can try. Maybe my mic is in the other one, but I don't think it's any help. But hey, we'll see. I don't know if it's better now, but they were in my shirt, so that this could also be a factor. And I need to cut these. But on modeling, how I start, I always cut the A4. So I print on A4 paper, and I always cut out the separate parts. And if I have like 6 of these, so with if I'm building the Soyuz rocket, or say for instance you're building a Delta 4 or Delta 4 with SRBs, or a Delta 2, I always cut out the parts that are the same, and I put them together, so I group them, so the parts for the engine go together, or the parts for the main structure go together, and then I just cut them out in one go and fold them, and I will show you how I fold this one later on. But I first cut them out, then fold them, then dry fit them, and so these nose cones I mostly glue. So always I cut them out just in one go. So I cut all 6 of these out, in this case 5, and then I glued this, and I cut out the bottom plate for the engine. Then I go and dry fit everything, so I roll these up and then fit these on top. So I see if it fit. I check if it fits, and if it fits, I just glue in this part and then fit it together. And most for this, these are too small, and I use the back of my X-Acto knife to roll them. But on the larger parts, so the Falcon Heavy, I use inside roll of aluminum foil, so or aluminum, however you want to call it. But I use the back side, or the paper roll inside, or it's more like a cardboard boxed roll, and I roll all the parts that need to be rolled around it, and I put a few elastic bands around them and leave them for 10-20 minutes, so so they take the shape of approximately the shape of the cardboard roll, and the roll is actually smaller, has a smaller diameter than than the boosters themselves, so they fold up a little bit more. So when I take off the electric bands, they expand, and mostly the tabs line up, so I can easily glue them together. And of course, I still use the cardboard roll for some strength while gluing it. Otherwise, I just would push it flat into a 2D and 2D shape, and I just would have one large rectangle with 2 sides having the SpaceX logo on. So now I've cut these out, and not trying to cut them, but I'm scoring the black lines that for these tabs, so I can easily fold these backwards, and so you have a sharper fold. And in my experience, it's one of the ways you get a really sharp edge. So I can show you this here. Only in front of the camera. Yeah. So these have all the. You have a very sharp overlay. So instead of it just gradually folding, it's just a sharp fold. And I do it on the other side as well. So everything that has tabs and there need to be cones on top of it, and use this. And if you need to make boxes or so let's say I have a few boxes in here. Yeah, so the Ulich motors, they also need to have a box shape. There are two black lines here. Just go with your knife, just slightly go over it. Don't push too hard, otherwise you're gonna cut it. But don't push too hard, and you will just get a clean fold. That's one of the ways. And for folding these, if you don't have a large enough surface, just go. This is my desk, so that it doesn't really have a sharp edge, but it's 90 degrees, so it should work. I go and fold it around and just move it back and forth. So you could also do it with the boosters of the Falcon 9, but they just work better for me with folding them on the inside of a aluminum foil one. And I thought we almost ran out of aluminum foil, but it turned out it didn't. So it took off all the aluminum foil of the roll. So, yeah, pretty funny story. And so yeah, as you can see, you get a really nice curvature on it. So it needs to be a very tight booster. So of course you need to roll it a lot more times, and same is for that one. Hey, we have another viewer. Ha, 3. Yeah. No, I feel crappy, but still, I enjoy doing this. So, I'm pushing my chair off my desk. Anything else I can show you? Ah, shit. No, Frankie. Bummer. I left my finished model of the Viking liner downstairs, so I can't show it. So now it rolls easily into a cylinder, and of course it needs some extra force to hold it tight, but still it works. Now go over to the top part. So these are for the other one. Just fold the other one really quick. And of course, if you have any questions, just let me know. Just burn away. Is it? No, I don't know. Is it actually English? Could be. Oh yeah, that's also good for my. Just go and play this album. Please play everything. Yeah, a little music. I mostly watch series when I construct things. So when I have a free day of building or a few hours, I just go and watch a series that I'm watching, or that I'm and then go through a few episodes, and then a few hours later my mom mostly walks in and goes like, it's bedtime. Okay. Yeah, school life. Where are the other parts? Yeah, these and the bottom parts. This is the engine. This is the top part for booster, and this is the top part for the ammonium or for the perchlorate thingy, the salt injector tank. Now I have 2 watches, or 1, because I'm watching my own stream. Hey. Have I lost the part? No. Please don't tell me I've lost something again. Oh no. Found it. Twitter is telling me. It's okay. Building an Atlas. Are you building the one from last night or 2 nights ago? I can't remember. No, 2 nights ago. The Ghost S one. I still don't have a lot of viewers, but hey, we'll get there eventually. I'm only going for 33 minutes, so, or no, actually less because my stream was up early. Everything's still okay. Yeah, audio is coming through. Yes, I'm going along just like whatever I was going to say, like a smooth diesel. Startup takes just a minute, or startup takes a bit longer, but I'll get there eventually. So, any stories, news flash? Yeah. Tomorrow night. No, it's Monday morning for me. So Monday at 5:33 UTC. They are gonna launch the Falcon 9 with the heaviest GTO payload that they're from which they're actually going to try and recover the first stage, which is going to be either an epic explosion or an awesome landing. But yeah, they're gonna try and squeeze as much propellant as they have out of the Falcon to try and recover it. And if it lands, it's gonna be probably the hottest and fastest recovery they had so far. But the downside is they're making the Falcon Heavy useless by doing this, because the recovery of the Falcon Heavy is closer, or the payload capacity of the recovered Falcon Heavy is close to a hot entry of a normal Falcon 9, which is kind of sad, but on the other hand, it's awesome. I love what they do. Also, this one the tank part is in, so only thing I have to do is the engines, and I'm kind of not sure what to do with the time lapse. If I should release the time lapse of only this or this plus the farming part, and I'm planning to do the boosters separate, so all for the boosters, but have a split screen with 4 time lapses of me building a booster, which is going to be difficult, but it will be awesome. The result will be very cool. I wish I had more instruction. Okay. Yeah, my nerves have calmed down. Yay. I can finally cut normal again. And not have the risk of cutting through all those parts and messing up my entire build. Well, I would just have to print it again, but that's no fun, isn't it? And for the Atlas V, I love to build an Atlas V someday. I just don't have the time. What is... what's that? Go away. Go away, go away, go away, go away. Yeah. Okay, but the Atlas V is just an amazing rocket. Because, for one thing, if the first stage fails in its last second, the second stage has more than enough delta V to catch up for it, just as they had with I think it was OA6. I'm not sure on that, but it was OA6, and the first stage cut off 4 or 6 seconds early, and the second stage had to burn for more than a minute extra to compensate for this, but they could do it, and they got it into their normal orbit, and everything was fine in the end. And my favorite rocket is probably the Delta II. It's just crazy. It's so Kerbal. It's the most Kerbal rocket I know. No, actually the N1 rocket is more Kerbal, but that's not a successful one. They tried to launch it 4 times and it exploded 4 times, so which makes it even more Kerbal. They didn't kill Jebediah though, which is kind of good, but would have made him more Kerbal. So how far are you with the Atlas V? Are you just getting the bottom stage ready, or already finishing the centaur part? Does it have a separate centaur? No, it doesn't. Would love one with a separate centaur. almost crushed my booster there. Okay. Kitchen. Paper kitchen towel always works. Absorbing all the glue that's not inside of the part. Okay. And this one is eroded slightly, and so I can easily glue it. Okay, put glue on it. And I know there are a lot of people. Oh, fortunately, I have a message. Do I? Ah, so you only have the core stage done. So yeah, I saw it. I just received it. So you have only the common core booster done. Atlas fact. Oof! I should have a soundboard with all these sounds, so I could do one of those fact sounds. You know what I mean? But they actually wanted to make an Atlas Heavy variant, so have just as the Delta 4 Heavy has 3 of those booster cores struck together. They wanted to have the Atlas, so they have 3 of those boosters together. So they would have something like 20 tons to low Earth orbit, which is insane. But yeah, it would have been similar to the Delta 4 Heavy, or it would have looked more like a Falcon Heavy, but sadly they didn't go with the plan. They scrapped it, and yeah, it's really funny. And I heard from I don't know who, but they designed the Atlas not to have just as a 401 or 501 or 502 configuration, or 402, which depends on the center. But after they finished the design on the Atlas, because it was inherited from the Atlas family, they were told, yeah, just put on some boosters. So they had to fit it inside all the wiring, because they had to fit it inside all the wiring, and so it ends up not being symmetrical, which is pretty funny for a rocket. But the RD-180 has enough gimbal. Which program did you use to design the Electron? I used Inkscape because it's free, and it's not as expensive as, so it's free, but I believe it's $20 or €20 a month for Adobe, and I really don't have the money for it. So I just used Inkscape, and it works out fine. So yeah. And they found, oh yeah, actually, no more space news. They found the cause on the recent Ariane failure. Failure. Words I can't speak. They found that instead of, so the azimuth is the angle which you leave around the rocket. And if you pitch to, say, 90 degrees, you pitch east. Yeah, east. So 0 is north, and 180 is south. I believe. Or it's the other way. No, it's like this. So when they installed the computers, they have those gyroscopes, and I believe it was a hardware fix and not a software fix. And I think for this mission it was they should have had an azimuth of 70 degrees. So if you have 360 degrees around, it should have pitched to 70 degrees instead of 90 degrees. But what it did was it pitched to 90 degrees. So it for those 20 degrees, it ended up in a 20 degree higher inclination than it should have been in. So it's an, of course, as Elon would say, it's an easy fix, but well, the satellites are just fine. So luckily they didn't have to abort the escape free trial. Yeah, but if I'm going to design heavily, or if I'm going to design more, I guess I should think about doing it, but nah, not at the time. Inkscape it has less abilities as or it can do less than the Adobe, but it's free, so I guess that's a major plus for me. I like free, but I guess a lot of people like free, but sometimes it can't be free, and I understand why it can't be free, but sometimes I think $20 per month for a subscription for a program is too much. And frankly, I don't have the money, so that's why I use Inkscape. So this is the cone. Yeah, only one cone left to glue, and then I can go to the main part of the rocket. Hey, major milestone. Not really, but nah. And also, if you're not watching the stream live, but if you're watching the recorded stream, so I guess you are watching it not live, so the rewatch, and you have questions for me, just leave them down in the comments, because I know a lot of people will rewatch it. Just leave them in the comments, and I could do in the next stream I could do a questions from last week, just like to do in the TMRO stream. Or if you have a question type about building models or aerospace in general, just leave them down. I could answer them. Maybe I can't, but I will let you know if I can't. And I think I'm gonna keep it at this time stream. It works out for me better than on Sunday, because Sunday is mostly my I have to finish this for school day, and yeah, I always on Thursday I go like, tomorrow I'm gonna finish all my work for the weekend, and I'm not gonna bother in the weekend, and I have a free weekend, but I always end up not finishing it on Friday and leaving it throughout the weekend until Sunday evening, and then stress about not having it finished, and so Saturday works much better for streaming, for me at least. And I wish Adobe was free. Yeah, I wish it. Well, not free. They should consider just letting people pay like 60 euros or 60 bucks for one part of the program and then keeping the license for forever. So just a one-time pay, not free. Free is maybe a bit too much. I understand why it's a really good program, so I'm willing to pay for it, but not 20 bucks a month, or $20 or 20 euros. But if they for instance said just gave us 70 euros and you'll get the program for your whole life, I would say fine, take my money and give me the program. But no, they want to squeeze as much money out of you as you have, or as you're willing to pay. But I'm not willing to pay 20 bucks a month, and also I get all these programs that I don't use, so that's also a major downside for me. Like, I only use one of these programs. Just give me one program. I don't need all your extra programs. Just give me. And about being free, I wish I knew how much, or how many YouTubers actually paid for Sony Vegas, because it's really expensive. It's like the software they use for editing all their videos. I know a lot of them use Sony Vegas, but I know it's. Oh, well, where do I keep my it's not here. I live in Wimeldingen, and it's in Middelburg, so it's about 30 minutes driving from here. And it's here in the Netherlands, almost every province has their own observatory, and our observatory has something with spaceflight, so I keep it there. It's part of the exhibition, and it's still on the shelves. So we have the timelines with the space race between Russia, or the Soviet Union, and the US, and it's really cool. So if you're ever in the Netherlands and you have a chance to visit Middelburg, go to search Philippus Landsbergen. You will find it. Also, Erik de Groen. So I don't know him personally, but he used to be a volunteer at the local observatory. And I'm building models for the local observatory, so this one will end up also over there. And some models I keep at home because I don't think, I put a lot of effort in them, and I want to keep them myself. They're my babies, kind of. So the Falcon Heavy won't leave, I think. Maybe if I build another one, that one will leave, but not this one. This will stay here. I will hang it up on my the roof of my room. Don't know how it's called in English, but the roof of my room is gonna probably I should ask my parents actually if I'm allowed to hang it on my room roof. That's how I'm gonna call it, my room roof. But the Saturn V is massive. It's like 2 meters and 60 centimeters, so it's 260 high, and it doesn't even fit inside of my room when it's stacked up all the way. So that's why. That's also a reason why I don't keep it in here. And also, I have cats, so we have 2, and they destroy a lot of things. The one is just a big friendly giant, but the other one is she's a destroyer. She just goes, this is paper, this is fun. It's on the table, so it's not even laying on the ground. And she just goes and play with it, and mostly I find these with all teeth marks, and it's just mashed up, and I find it all. Also, I don't find it where I left it. I just found it somewhere in the corner, and well, she had a fun time with it. Yeah, cats are very messy. Well, actually, they're clean, but when they play with your stuff, they're not clean. They're messy, and also, so a lot of my models are in my yeah. It's not in my closet, and so I close the doors, and well, the one that goes and takes part of my models, she doesn't come over to my room. I don't know, she's sort of scared for me. But yeah, I really love her. Sometimes on random moments, she just comes up and cuddles. She just out of nowhere has the. She wants hugs and cuddles out of nowhere sometimes, because her mom was a farm cat, was a cat that lived on a farm. So she wasn't really used to humans, and so she has that from her mom, I think. But she just runs away from you, and sometimes she stops and then goes screaming at you like that. And yay, they're finished. Now we need to let them dry. And yeah, and then all of a sudden, 10 seconds later, she's like, you're cute, cuddle me. Sometimes it's like she's bipolar. Funny cat stories. Cats are cute. I don't really like dogs. I like dogs, but not as much as cats. Is my language similar to German? Kind of. We have, well, not really. It's different, but mostly, most of the times, at least I can understand German. But my neighbor, she is German. She speaks Dutch, of course, but she's a native German. But it's similar. We have a lot of the same and sounds, but we have those jokes. I don't know if you know them, and we really laugh at them. have, for instance, a hospital, hospitaal. We have a Ziekenhuis, and then the Germans have Krankenhaus. So yeah, we laugh at those. Silly jokes, but they're funny, at least to me. For a lot of non-native, so non-Dutch speaking persons, Dutch sounds really harsh, but wait until you hear German. And also, the Dutch is the same as they speak in the upper half of Belgium. And we also have a lot of Belgian jokes. Belgian, yeah. Or jokes about Belgium. Belgian people. I love them though. Yeah, Krankenhaus is hospital, yeah, it is. And to us, it sounds like a crazy hospital. So, yeah. It sounds more like crazy hospital than a hospital where you go when you're sick, really sick. Or, well, just go. So all these slots are cut out, I can show you. So these boosters go with the little tiny white tabs on the front. Yeah, my camera doesn't want to focus. Focus. No, it doesn't. But those tiny tabs go in here. That's how you attach a booster to a rocket. That's how it works in real life. No. Or did you use 249 or 240 grams for the 7V5? When you have the model, it actually says to use 200 grams and 220, or 220, 240, and something, I believe. And that's what I did. I ordered all the paper and went ahead and built it. It took me over a year, but that's because I'm a student, and hey, I don't have that much time. Because instead of coming home and just doing something else, I still have homework. So yeah, I used it, but it's not the only paper I use. And I believe I used 160 grams is also one of the paper sizes I used. I'm not sure. The model has a clear description of what sorts of paper to use, and if you just go with that, it's okay. Are you planning on building one? Mm. So yeah. I also, what I did is, actually I just finished it before the stream, is build the launch pedestal they have for the PSLV rocket. Yeah. Cool. Awesome, you're gonna build one. You should know that the original one, so the one from Ton, I believe, doesn't have a lot of details if it comes to the second stage. And there's another detailing kit. You know where to find it. Because of school. How old are you? I'm interested. Yeah. If you start in the summer, I don't know if you're gonna finish it. To be fair. It took me a lot of time. You're 15, okay. Whoa. Yeah. Cool. How long ago did you start building models? Or just paper models in general? Can also be plastic, because I started with plastic and I found out that paper is just more. It's the quicker way to build. Oh, shit. I've probably already asked this question a long ago, but hey. Last year, okay. So you're a newbie, a new. You're a beginner. Well, I guess if you're already building an Atlas 5, you're pretty advanced. But I guess I could give you some extra tips. When cutting, instead of like those large rectangles, instead of using scissors, use an X-Acto knife and a ruler. I think you already know this, but your lines are going to be way more straight than just cutting with a pair of scissors. You found our Amex site on November. Whoa. Wow. Was it you or someone else with the picture with a crap ton of models? Because I already saw someone build my Electron. That's impressive. You're not even... No, it can't be you. There was somebody with just a massive amount of models. Yeah. And my Electron was right in... You usually, yes. Good. That's great, because for a long time I didn't, and I messed up everything. Or no, I didn't mess up everything, but I messed up a lot. And when I started building models, I guess when I was 11. Yeah, I was 11 when I started building all these models. But not rockets, but I built some of the cannon models. I believe one of the hydroelectric dam, and also a earthquake thingy. And then I found the H2A on the cannon side, and I thought, rockets. And I also got a astronomy course on our local observatory. That's how I ended up there. And all in all, it made me really interested in space, and I found out rockets were a thing, and they're awesome. And then I started making models. I think just a few more. I think my cat wants to come in. Let me check. Nicky Nick. Hey. Guess not. I'm back again. But it's kind of weird seeing your model eventually, but it took me 5 years before I even started making my own models. But I guess I was 12. Yeah, 12, 13 when I found paper models. And I have a really old Falcon 9, one of the, not the first, but I think it's still a 1.1. That's the first Falcon I built. And then I found out, because I was making plastic models, I wasn't making a one on, I believe, 144 scale, or 114, I don't know. No, 144 scale 7.5. And then I just, with Google actually made me do it. No, not made me do it, but I wanted to do it. But through Google, I found the large model of the 7.5, and I thought, this is cool. I should build this. So I ordered everything I needed, started building, and a year later, voila, there it was. And that's almost 2 years ago. but I finished it, I think. Let me see. I finished it 1.5 years ago. A little more. And now I design my own worlds. And there is a lot to come still. There are a few models on my drawing board. And I can say I'm pretty far with the Vector. Both the Vector R and the Vector Heavy. And I don't think I can say anything else. What I have on the drawing board? What's left? What do I have on the drawing board? Check Twitter. Yeah, I just checked my Twitter. It's really is it a scratch build? Because it looks like a scratch build of the SLS. It's cool. It's cool though for. I'm patiently waiting. You're still my only viewer. I feel kind of sad. Well, guess it's okay. There were no files. I painted it. Oh, cool. You painted it, okay. There is an SLS on the Orb side of Alfonso. So, just so you know. He has one in 100 in 1 to 144 and one in 100 in 1 to 69, I believe. 96. Yeah, 96. Still planning on building one. I have so much models I still need to build for the local observatory. Look, it's getting there. It's a PSLV. It's getting there. We have some progress. I guess I could take a screenshot of this. I know. Well, pardon me. Yeah, so what now? Connectors! Yay! Just gonna build the first stage. When I built it, I thought it had launched. No, it didn't. And it's not going to launch until the end of 2019. And honestly, my personal opinion, or what I think is going to happen, is that it gets cancelled entirely, because it might be rescheduled until 2020 or even 2021. And maybe the next president thinks, no, just scrap it, it's way too expensive. But kind of sad, but on the other hand, I understand. It's expensive, this rocket. It's just as expensive as a shuttle launch. So yeah, it's $1 billion per launch. So. Wow, expensive. Yeah, you could buy 10 Falcon Heavies for the price. Honestly, I think NASA should build more like probes and transfers and habitations, and just let the private companies, so ULA, maybe Blue Origin in the future, and no, I don't think BFR is going to take the place of SLS, and honestly, I don't really think SLS is going to launch to Mars in 2022, 2024 maybe, but not 2022. They might surprise me. Not, but what Elon said with the Falcon Heavy, and we're gonna launch it in 2013, and I know why it took so long, because they had to go through all the iterations of the Falcon 9 before they could get to the Falcon Heavy. I know that, but still, it took way more than they said, and the meme, it's always 6 months away was born, and yeah, no, it's not gonna take its place. Maybe the new Armstrong is gonna take its place, but BFR is mainly to go to Mars, which is kind of a paradox if you think about it. If Elon would be the first. What do you think about the Falcon Heavy fairings? They're awesome. I haven't had the time to adjust them. I will. I thought about it. I know what I'm gonna do with it. I just only have to build it. And it basically is 8 tiny cylinders of black paper, and in one of these 8, so you have 4 and 4, in one of these, so in 4 of these is a tiny metal pin, and they line up just exactly with the other 4, and then I'm just gluing them inside the fairings, and voila, that's it. That's what I'm going to do. But yeah, Falcon Heavy is awesome. I would love to. I can't wait to see it fly again. Let me fit this. Next week there will be no stream, and the week after that I'll have to see what I'm planning on it. But next week I'm in The Hague for a Model United Model United Nations, which is fun. Musk Standard Time. Yeah. The BFR is gonna launch in 2022 Musk Standard Time, so that will probably be 2024 or 2026. Or 2020. Yeah, 2026. 2024, 2026. But 2022, no. Not gonna happen. it's way too early for that. They have 4 more years to build, test, and design, or they already designed it, but they have to build it, test it again, test it again, and it's basically the biggest rocket. They 2028 could also be a possibility, but given the effort they already put into it, and Elon Musk saying they might have a hub in 2029 or 2019 with the BFR, they're on track, but I think they're gonna get some large hiccups with such a large ship that no, it's not gonna happen. Well, they might do the booster first, design, or they're first gonna build the ship, which basically is an SSTO, and so they might do something with that. So give it a SLS. I don't know. It has come a long way since its initial setup of the plan, but I don't know. Maybe no. I think it's gonna launch earlier, but 2024 is going to be the first crewed flight, definitely. Yeah, crew, yeah. Well, they might just take a dragon and shoot them around the moon. It's just as effective and has less money. It at maybe 25% of the cost. And they could even put a large beam module in the trunk and just inflate it, so the crew have a habitat to live in for almost a week. No, for more than a week. But at the end, I expect them to have some, or at least I expect them to have delays, so they get Falcon Heavy certified for crew, so they can fly crews on the Falcon Heavy, and then maybe take someone around the moon. I don't know. Well, it's basically it's not a hardware issue. If they go to Block 5, they have the Block 5 certified. It's just a matter of throttling down enough so the G-forces don't get too high on the crew. But the Falcon Heavy could be... It's not unsafe. If they strap a Dragon capsule on top, so the Dragon V2, and they needed volunteers, sign me up. I will go with pleasure. and if they get the Block 5 to be certified for crew, it's not far off getting the Falcon Heavy certified for crew, because it's also a Block 5, and yeah, basically it's the same rocket, only yeah, it's just 3 of those rockets strapped together, and yeah, not really a big deal. It's more difficult from getting having no certification to getting a Falcon Heavy certified than from having the Block 5 booster certified to having the Falcon Heavy certified. So once they sort out all the issues on the Block 5 boosters, they will. I'll have a look at your Twitter in a sec. Let's just put these 2 boosters on, so I have a complete rocket, or almost. Nah. Well, they just keep falling off. I'm gonna have a look. Your ongoing project. So what I'm gonna describe what I see. I see a Falcon. I see a Dragon 2, a shuttle. I don't know which shuttle. It's just a main body of the shuttle, and the I think it's the Atlas 5. Yeah, it's the Atlas 5. Awesome. You're awesome. But you're just like me. You have 3 ongoing projects at the same time. I love it. I still have the signed Soyuz rocket over here. I have to finish the launch platform for the Ariane 5, and then I'm having this one and also an Ariane 1 that I have to finish. So I have more ongoing projects. After the stream, I'm going to make a picture of all the ongoing projects. Yeah, same. When I get bored, I also start a new build. Well, and I encourage myself to come back to the old one, but sometimes this just doesn't happen for a few months. I think we're twins. Secretly, we are twins. Only I'm 2 years older, so how could we be twins? But I think other modelers also have the same issue, or not issue, it's not really an issue, but because I know somebody who built plastic models, and he always says, if you get bored of a model, don't continue working on it, because you'll mess up. You will screw. You will screw something up, so you get a messy model, and that's not how it's supposed to work. You just should start something else. If you want to build but don't want to start on something particular, just go and build something else. Yeah, almost messed this up. Yeah. But as you can see, this is now the lower part of the PSLV rocket. So these are the SRBs, and they ignite 4 of these, so each on the corner ignite on launch. And this one in the middle and the one on the other side, they ignite halfway through the burn of the outer ones, and then we have those canisters, and they inject something strontium perchlorate into the nozzle to steer it, and they also inject it in either they inject it in all of the boosters to control the roll and get more control. SRBs look like fireworks. They kind of do, but don't all rockets look like fireworks? They're basically fireworks. Just actually a rocket, especially solids, are just bombs with one open end, and the open end is the engine where all the hot gases shoot out of, but it's basically an open bomb. I'm just gonna show it. I don't care. I should go into make an extra scene, add scene. Scene 5 sources, add 1 display capture. Okay. Yeah. So, well, wait, let me add video capture device. Yeah, you see my face. Oh, well, it's a little big. Okay, I'm gonna show you. Control explosions, yeah. This is what you get when your rocket malfunctions and it has solids. Oh wait, let me turn off my music. And turn off my sounds. This is what you get when your rocket malfunctions.
4, 3, 2, 1, 0. We have ignition and liftoff from Cape Canaveral Air Station of the Air Force Delta II launch.
So what happened over here was one of the SRBs, I believe, was ignited, but
We have had an anomaly. We just had an anomaly of the Delta II launch vehicle.
But one of the SRBs didn't fire properly, so there's a plug in it which so in the bottom of these SRBs, so you have these. There is a plug which gets blown out, and what I understand of this failure, the plug didn't blow out. So what happened was the rocket exploded, and it's awful. And no, they burned a lot of cars.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
Yeah, that's what happened. No, not just an anomaly. It blew up. That's the same when they have an explosion and they go like, yeah, something just happened, They never speak of a failure, just have an anomaly. Which is pretty weird, but still. I can't get my thing going. It's still working, right? I'm gonna refresh. Okay. It says I'm still streaming. Meh. Yeah, okay. I guess it's just one thing. Okay. YouTube problems. I wasn't getting any feedback, so that's what the problem was. Yeah, rockets are a funny thing. You know, do you know of the Delta 3? No. You have. How to no. Yeah. Well, not how to land, but it's not how to launch an orbital class rocket. Yeah. It won it by SpaceX. Yeah, that's a cool clip actually. I saw the video. It's like, how old is it? 2 months. It's awesome. They could add the Falcon Heavy by a sensor core to it. And they should actually. Should make a new video. So yeah, upper stage. It's a big rocket. It's not just one of the small teeny ones. It's a big one. That's what you said. No, it's not funny. I want to get these jokes on school. Hate these jokes. Okay, now I need to get instant. Where does this go? Nah. Okay, let me get the manual. Manual. I have gone to get the manual. Other space engines, India. Oh, also what I have on the shelf, and I don't know if I'm gonna release it for free because it's such a massive, or not a massive, but it's so difficult to design. Is the Soyuz launch tower and the one on French Guiana, the one like the blue one, and then the arms that fold away. But there's a whole structure underneath that needs to be designed from pictures only. But yeah, I can show the models I have here. I also have I have flown hardware. Not really space flown, but still it's flown. This one flew. I had engines, so it's an actual flying rocket. I had it. It flew, but then all of a sudden it blew out on its parachute, and it was like, no, I'm not gonna land on under a parachute, so it crashed. But it's still, I'm gonna repair it and fly someday. Then I have finished. Okay, I'm gonna. Yeah. Here's one. Okay. Wow. This is gonna be epic. Okay, I'm just gonna do this because why should I not? Yeah. Oh. I'm gonna put it the other way around. Okay. So, oh, I can't hear myself. Okay, I have this. This is the Ariane 1. It's the bottom stage. So it's gonna be about this side. I need to get my face. Get your stupid face out of the way. No. Get your face out of the way. No. Get your face out of the way. Yeah. Make it smaller. Transition. Yeah. Okay. So this, and it's gonna be about this side, I think. Maybe a bit bigger. Ariane 1. So have it to add all the details on it, like the fuel lines. And I have the Falcon Heavy second stage. Falcon Heavy pairing with the teeny tiny Tesla and its passenger Starman. Then there is, of course, core booster. Doesn't fit into the frame. Core booster. Side boosters. Then I have the Ariane 5 ES variant. Missing booster. So this one with the booster, of course. This is the one that flew the last Galileo set, and I made a sort of scratch build. This is epic. Pom pom pom. I built the ES stage, so this is actually, it's not color how with it doesn't have the right colors, but this is how the tanks are in the ES variant. And I was planning on building the dispenser on top and building the satellite in it, but I'm still working on that because the satellites I have are, the models are really tiny, and yeah, that I can't find the sizes for the dispenser, but I have sources that can give me those. But I'm working on those, so yeah, that's one. And then probably, oh yeah, this is one of the modules of the ISS. I'm not gonna get the whole ISS out, but this is the Zarya module, and I have it built. And so I have the Zarya module built, the Unity, the PMA. I have a list over here with what I built. The B6 truss. So the next thing I have to build is the Destiny module. Then I have the third stage, block I, of the Soyuz rocket. And of course the one that was time-lapsed, the core stage of the rocket. It doesn't even fit into the frame. Meh. one, and the most epic, the signature of Scott Kelly. So yeah, that are all my models I have here. And oh yeah, tiny little P6 truck. And yeah, of course I'm building the PSLV. I have more models over here. No, I don't. Yeah, I have the Lego Search 5. Wait, let me get my camera out. Nah. Don't tip over, don't tip over. Get them. Oh. No, it's stable. Okay. Kensington, one of my favorite Dutch bands, by the way. I'm not sponsored in any way, but Kensington, you should listen to them. Lucky boy. Yeah, I'm one lucky boy. Oh, I found another paper model. Yay. Well, I'm kind of a dumbass. I destroyed this one by accident, but I destroyed it basically. It's the New Horizons, and it's really detailed, but I destroyed it. Or actually, I didn't destroy it entirely, I just destroyed the antenna, but I put something on top of it, which is not really a smart idea since it's paper and it's not really strong. But then to top all of this, pom pom pom, the Saxon 5 from Lego. Hey, this one is epic. It's one of my favorites. Oh, you can also see it in. Maybe I can get it in frame. It's really massive. Yeah, models pop out of nowhere. All of a sudden there's a model here and there's a model here, but I have a lot of them. But yeah, I'm gonna put everything back. This one can go here. And I'm gonna continue constructing the PSLV because I'm man, another 3 minutes and I have it almost done, I think. At least until the ferry. Okay. So yeah. Oh yeah, and also the second stage has a burning vacuum the engine. So yeah. I've been streaming for almost 2 hours now. Well, almost dropped it again. I'm gonna build the engine for the first stage, and then I'm gonna call it a day because it's getting late. And I have homework to do tomorrow, but no. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, I already did that. Okay. Ring. Okay. Also, one thing I always have is every time I get a new knife, I drop it, and then parts come off, and it just isn't sharp anymore. And yeah, I hate unsharp knives. They're one of the worst things you can have. Yeah, I know what you mean. It's the most boring part of the Falcons to build, but it still looks really cool if you add it to it. Just gonna share the link with someone. I'm gonna. Hey. Yeah, I can show you what he showed was the most boring part to build was you have these. You have the okay. You have pins going in, and you have really small details. You should go and follow Alfonso on Twitter. I'll put his Twitter in the description, but mostly everybody that comes here follows me already on Twitter. But these are they take so much time. They are just. It took me, I think, two or 3 hours to build all of them for the Falcon Heavy. So there are 8, 16, 24 of them, and wow. But in the end, they look really awesome. I have a feeling my internet is getting pretty sharp. No, it's kind of okay. I still have 2, 3 gigs output per second. Still haven't made them for the Falcon Heavy. Yeah, they take a long time and they're boring. But just put them. The only thing left. Yeah, well, just build them. Then you can't lose the parts. That's the main reason I just built them in the first place. But yeah, I know what you're getting at. They take so long to build, and I can't imagine people building the Falcon Heavy and another Falcon at the same time. But on the other hand, you just work like a machine, like one of those assembly belts where they just go, one person puts something on and just go at it, and then you go glue all these parts, cut out all these parts, then glue all the parts, then glue all the parts together, and yeah. No. Okay, I'm still alive, but hey, over 2 hours. Wow. Also, what was I going to say? Well, I need a new knife. This one is, yeah. I love new knives. Well, I don't think the patient. Well, if you like it, you don't matter. I don't really mind working 2 hours on a model and then having like almost zero progress, because eventually you're gonna get so much out of those hours. Is it? Yeah, it is 10:55 here. Staying up late, well, don't really care, but still. It is 5 before 11. But it's a Saturday night, so I don't care. Really, I don't. Doesn't bother me. I think staying up late. Well, I'm trying to figure out a time where it suits most people, but it's or early morning or late night. So I'm not a really early morning person, so I'm just sticking with late night, I think. Hey, another viewer. Who is it? And actually, what I was onto something. Another one is watching. Yeah, I know. But it's slow to progress, but the time-lapse videos are really cool. They take twice the amount of time that normal building does, because I also have to edit down all the things. But still, they're also twice the fun, maybe even 3 times the fun. But still, They take so much time that I just stopped making them, but I also didn't continue building it because I think I need to finish what I started. So I'm going to time lapse all the builds, but the boosters also take so much time. It's not normal anymore. But yeah, it's fun. I still enjoy this. I don't think so. It's either somebody on Twitter that just discovered me, or it's just except he would be the only one. No, I think some other people would actually also watch this. Or it's just a stranger that accidentally found my stream, and then when only two people are watching this. What is this? Then clicked on it, and then he was like, "Well, this is crappy." No, actually, it's not really crappy. It's decent. I think someone. Ooh, you're dedicated to it. If you. The teacher of mine always says, don't say you're crappy, just fake it until you make it. It's just shitty actually, but that doesn't really matter. I think I'm getting used to doing that. I really enjoy this. I like streaming. I could do this more often. Oh, wait, maybe I should turn down my volume. Didn't notice. Well. Okay. This is okay. No, it would maybe. No, I didn't think so. The one who extras who's watching, show yourself. No, if you don't want to comment, don't comment. Comment. It's okay. Yeah. And what else? This one is the connector. This is the... Yeah, okay. I'm gonna do it the other way. And scoring this so I can easily fold it. Whee! Also, I have almost 100 followers on Twitter, and that's, for me, it's a big milestone. I've never had that much people follow me on any social media. It's me from another device. You serious? I briefly just saw it jump up to 4. But it is a few minutes ago that happened, so I still have 3. And I'm watching my own stream, but that's to ensure it's working correctly, but and also to view it. So actually, anyway, okay. Wow. Do you actually enjoy watching this? Or is it just some sort of conversation? Whoa! It's for watching. Someone else joined. Welcome. Welcome to the stream. If you have any questions, just burn away. I'm here sitting silent until you ask me some questions. No, you just all left. Meh. And what do I have to do then? Go and glue this inside. I don't have anything better to. Seems legit. Seems legit. It just briefly jumped up to 4 and then just fell down to 1. Or YouTube is doing weird things. Or people are actually clicking on my link. Someday I will make it to have more than just one person watching it. Yeah, talking about rockets with the filler paper model. Yeah. I actually wanted to make this so I could talk about rockets while building rockets, which is kind of ironic, but still fun. But I really didn't know how many people would watch it, so but I'm continuing anyway because I know some people don't watch it live, but they like to re-watch it. And I already had, I don't know, 48 views on my other. No, not that many. Almost 40 or so, which is quite a lot for a stream that lasts an hour. But yeah. I can see you. Okay. That wasn't even funny. Well, that's a great compliment for me, if you actually stayed home for this. Yeah. But it's fun. I think it's fun. If you think it's no fun, just... Okay. Well, welcome to the stream, and if you well, I was told I should read out comments, so I'm gonna do it. Saw your reply to Ned on Twitter, so I'm checking it out. Couldn't comment earlier. As I was watching via the smartphone, the comment section wasn't available on the small screen. Watching on laptop now. Welcome. That's a proper welcome. Welcome. I don't have a lot of viewers, but still. I'm planning on doing this more time. So. Should explain what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm building the Indian PSLV rocket, which is a special rocket because it has a lot of stages it has to go through. So yeah, and that's why I chose this rocket, because for one, it's special because it's kind of a really Kerbal rocket in a way that it uses a lot of different techniques to get it to orbit, and also because I still needed to build it, and I think I messed this up. This has to go the other way around. Just checking the manual. Oh no, I did it correctly. Our gang is called the Rocket Boys. Yeah. Yeah, so just building the engine section now. And actually, this rocket doesn't use the normal swivel technique which most rockets use. So instead of moving the engines, they have, besides one of those 6 of those sub-on boosters, they have one of these, which holds a salt in solution, I think. Yeah, well, it has to be in solution. And they inject it into the engine, so the exhaust cools down on the part where it's injected. So what happens is the exhaust contracts, and then on that side there's less push against the nozzle of the engine, so the rocket turns that way, and that's how they control this rocket, and that's what's really special about this. One more reason I built this, and yes, and I just showed my other models, so I have a partly destroyed New Horizons. I have the Falcon Heavy and the Ariane 5 and part of the Ariane 1, which I was still building. So yeah. And I'm going along nicely. I'm already streaming for almost 2.5 hours, but still I made some progress. This is what I've already constructed with this. So it's slow, but I think it's fun, and it's my passion, so I thought of combining the two together. So actually building rockets and talking about rockets. 1 + 1 = 2. No, it's not. They're not the only one, actually. I believe I heard Rocket Lab also called Do like 1, 2, 3, 4, and also I don't know if it's the Chinese or the Japanese. They also count up. Well, more than one way to just the rocket direction, I guess. But it doesn't seem elegant and as elegant as gimbling the engine nozzles. Well, the thing is gimbling the nozzles requires hydraulic pistons, and they let it turn one way or the other way. But what happens is you need some fluid to get it, and you need to get it to act as a hydraulic fluid, and you need also pumps to pressurize what fluid you have, because if you remember the CRS-6 crash of the Falcon, which tried to land, it ran out of hydraulic it ran out of hydraulic fluid because the way the Falcon used to work was the RP1, so the actual fuel gets diverted to the grid fins, and it uses the tank pressure of the actual of the pressure that's in the tanks of the rocket, and the fuel goes up. But what they used to do is they use it in the pistons to turn the grid fins, and then they just threw it overboard. And what happened is, I think, because from the actual rocket, the propellant tank, it gets pumped up to another tank, but that tank ran out of fluid, so the whole rocket ran dry of hydraulic fluid, so the grid fins couldn't turn and it crashed. And it's really difficult to design a closed system because you need a pump that pumps the fluid back into the tank and keeps it at the same pressure. And that's why the Indians went with the salts, because it's way easier. You just squirt some salt solution into the engine and the rocket turns. So that's why they chose it, and they're not even reusing it anyway. So what should they do else with the rocket? So yeah, what do you want to do after school? Me? Or, well, what I want to do is build rockets, but what I have to do is make homework. That's the... That's sad, but it's how life works. Students don't have an easy life, but yeah, well, I guess having a job is not easy as well. So yeah. Hi Nat, bye Nat. Yeah, well, I don't know how accurate the counting thing is on YouTube. Yeah. And I don't know other ways to gimbal the nozzles actually. Maybe that's for next stream. I could figure that out. But the only thing I know is that you can inject a cooling fluid or a actually turn the engine. But still, maybe there are other ways. Or if you have multiple engines, you can what they call thrust vectoring. So if you have 3 engines, you so let's say pretend these are also liquid engines. Yeah. Well, if these were liquid engines, all 3, and you need, let's say, to turn this way, you throttle down this engine. Oh no, you throttle down this engine, and then it goes this way. I meant when you grow up. Ah, yeah. I want to be. I don't really know. I want to do something with rockets, but the most awesome. Actually, to be fair, I want to become an astronaut. That's still my number 1 dream when I grow up. I want to be an astronaut. But working in mission control, so either at ESA or it doesn't matter, mission control, that will be awesome. But also integration, so the people that build up all those rockets. So let's say you're gonna work in France Guyana and you're gonna build a put together a actually a rocket. That will be fun, or that will be actually awesome. But I don't know. I know where I want to get, but I don't know really what my path is gonna be. Well, I just look at it and go whatever life brings me, because school is not. Hey, Michael. Yeah, I will just see what life brings me. Well, I want to be a rocket scientist when I grow up. That's the most awesome thing I can imagine. And actually, seeing your rocket go up would be really special, I think. But yeah, I will see. I'm only 17 years young, so. You're the most famous channel on YouTube. No, I'm not, but still. I just finished work. Well, what's your job actually? I'm wondering. What's your daylight job? Are you one of the? Do you actually have something to do with aerospace engineering, or just is it just a hobby? Where's my knife there? Well, SpaceX is yeah, I would love to work for them. Nah, I don't know. Yeah, I would love to work for them, but I would if I was really wanting to and was actually going to, I would need to be an American citizen, which means giving up my Dutch passport my Dutch identity and all my no, I don't want it. I'd rather just work for the ESA. sitting in an office chatting to customers online. Sounds fun, but weird because you also have. Do you have a lot of trolling people that just go? I don't know. I can imagine weird conversations, but yeah. I'm happy they finally found the thing that caused Ariane to fail. That was not really a failure. It didn't blow up, but it just went the wrong way because somebody forgot to program their computers correctly, or put their gyroscope in the correct position. I couldn't really figure out from the where should symbol it. Yeah, they're probably just just 12 till 17 years old, and they think it's funny to go and chat with, say weird things to customers, help, and no. For everybody who's that kind of person and doing this, stop it. It's not funny. So you hope to work for ESA and/or Arianespace. Yeah, but if some startup comes up, or actually one of my friends that is really into space and astronomy and aerospace, one of his dreams is making his own business with space and making designing a rocket. And if he offers, let's say in no, 10 years is too soon for me. Let's say 15 years or 20 years, he comes up to me and we're still friends, and he goes like, well, I need a PR person for this company, or I need an head of engineering or something. I would say, yeah, give me the job. Yeah. If I had the skills and I lived in America, SpaceX would definitely be the way to go. But I think the problem is that they can't hire anyone that does not have an American passport. Yeah. Because it's really weird, but I think the law in America is that they are working with potential weapons of mass destruction, so no Americans can work on it, so nobody that doesn't have an American passport can't work on it. That's how I understand it. Yep, no luck for me. Nah, for me neither. I love America, I have to say. I've been there last summer, and it was awesome. But I think I would miss my family and my just my friends and family in this particular, and I think I would miss that. Yeah, green card. What do you mean, green card? Bye. aside from British Go reaction engines, I haven't heard from any other European rocket startup. No. I don't know. Well, no, they're not. It's not really. No, it's not a startup. Because I know DLR, so the German rocket agent or the rocket, the German space agency is making a reusable rocket together with CNES, so with the French space agency. But that's not really. You have a green card. Yeah, I don't know how that works. Well, I'm not an American, so I'm a simple Dutch person. So. Well, but there are a lot of startups, but maybe there are more Europeans that pop up in the next years because now with Rocket Lab you have you have the small set market opening up because there's actually supply for it, so the demand will grow. Well, actually, there was already demand for small set launchers, but now the demand is met. There will be larger amounts of satellite that are wanting to be launched. But you need to live 5. Yeah, I know you need to live 5 years in the US, and I don't know if I want to go 5 years in the US before I even can get US citizenship. No green cards are for immigrants to the US who are legal users but not yet American citizens. Aha. Okay. Now I know how that works. Thanks. But yeah. SpaceX has to obey the rules of US government, so they can't hire Europeans, sadly, but we have the ESA and Arianespace. But getting into ESA is also really difficult because when there's an open job and you apply for it, they are going to look if that position is open for your country. So every US or every ESA member state pays a certain amount of money, and that's in a percentage. So let's say the UK pays 26% of I think it's a little more in real life, but let's say they pay 26% of the total budget of the ESA. Then if there's an open job, they go and look if in the whole ESA or if there is 26% of the employees already coming from the UK. So when they're at 26% and you want to apply, you live in the UK, you can't apply, or you can apply, but you're getting just straight rejected because your country doesn't pay for more percentage, so you can't apply. So that's basically how it works at ESA. So it's The PSLV has 6 boosters. Okay, so the PSLV can come with 0, with short boosters, or with long boosters. And the boosters are already with 6, and those injector thingies are always 2, 1 on each side. What about Copenhagen or suborbitals? Copenhagen suborbitals is not really a startup. It's a volunteers program, so they don't make money of it. So I don't know. It's a startup. Well, it could be considered as a startup, but they're not intending to launch satellites into an orbit. They just want to launch the first. What was it? Short booster things. It's injectors. Got it. Yeah, it's the short things are the injectors, and the long things are the boosters. And you have the so the PSLV-XL has the PSLV comes in 3 variants: the PSLV-XL, the PSLV normal, and the PSLV core alone. So that's so we'll see PSLV-CA, so core alone, and that has no boosters. And the color on the thingy on those coolant injector thingies are different. But basically the main part of the rocket is the same, only the boosters. So you have the long boosters, you see they have 3 segments, and the shorter boosters only have 2 segments instead of 3. So yeah. And Monday's Falcon 9 launch is going to be epic. It's going to be either an epic explosion or an epic landing. So now the engine is in. Engine fell. Do you have any other hobbies? Yeah, playing KSP, and I do sports twice a week. So that's 1 hour on Thursday. That's street dance, and 1 hour on Tuesday, and that's judo. And I have a brown belt, so I'm pretty good at it. And yeah, and so paper modeling is actually one of my biggest things I spend my free time on. And yeah, watching launches in the middle of the night. Please don't hurt me. No, I'm not gonna hurt you. They make sounding rockets, sort of, but they're not your normal sounding rockets. They have actually made liquid fueled rockets. They're just developing, so making new rockets, and eventually they want to make a astronaut, which is not a real astronaut, but I think he undergoes the same training. But they want to launch the first amateur astronaut into space, so above the Kármán line. So they have a really big sounding rocket with which goes up to 100 kilometers, which is 70 miles, I believe, and that's it. They don't go around the Earth. But I think they're planning on making an even bigger rocket. No, Falcon 9 his percent will not be too heavy. They're attempting a landing, and they're confident of landing it because the booster has titanium grid fins, and those are really expensive. And if you think it's gonna fail, I don't think you're gonna put really expensive grid fins on them. No, I'm not sure if it's gonna be successful, but I think it is gonna be because they're pretty confident of it landing, and it's because they're gonna use the 3 engine landing burn. So instead of landing on 1 engine, they do the same thing as with the entry burn and the landing burn, or the boost back burn and the entry burn. They're like, first they light 1 engine and then 3, but then instead of cutting off the outer 2, they let the outer 2 burn until they are down on the platform, which saves about, I think it was 200 meters of delta V, which is quite a lot. Which sounds really weird, saving fuel by igniting more engines, but if you do the math, I think it's about 200 meters a second. And instead of the 131, it's going to be a 133. I actually wondered if they could do a 13531. But I think the rocket would destroy itself. But that would make a really, really awesome landing burn. We got no. Yeah. Oh no, the central core was destroyed because it didn't have any lighter fluid. So if you mean lighter fluid with that, it's true. They didn't have any thiatep, so that's triethyl borane. Try something, I don't know. And that's the igniter fluid. They had enough oxygen, liquid oxygen, and enough RP1. But the 2 outer engines didn't have enough lighter fluid, so it's a mixture of 2 fluids, and when it comes in contact with oxygen, it contains a TFAB, but I don't know what it stands for. It stands for triethyl. Oh yeah, triethyl aluminum and triethyl borane, I believe. But it doesn't matter. But if the fluid comes in contact with the oxygen, it spontaneously ignites. That's the green spark you see every time the Merlins ignite. And they ran out of the igniter fluid, and so the outer 2 engines couldn't ignite. The center core, the center one did. But the outer 2 didn't, and so it crashed with 300 miles an hour. It just crashed 100 meters off the landing platform, so of the barge. And Elon afterwards said, well, will be an easy fix. So Guess they're just gonna add more lighter fluid then. I really know my stuff. And the most funny thing is, people don't know it when they look at me. I'm not really the usual geek, I think. I have a lot of friends, so they know, but outsiders don't know until they talk to me. Well, but space is cool. It's where we came from, and it's where we are going to. So yeah. Bottom stage. I'm gonna put it on the platform. Just go and see if it fits. It's my end. No, it's too big. It doesn't fit. Oh, wait, maybe this is the problem. It does fit. I don't know how to do this. Should look at the picture. No, destroyed titanium fins is not a good thing. So I hope they landed, because those 4 are really expensive. But they also can have a larger angle of attack, so I believe the CRS-13 mission, when it came back, you could see it after the entry burn. Oh wait, I have a Falcon. Haha. So after the landing burn, so it's going this way. After the landing burn, it went like this, so it went down like this. So they have more surface area, so it slowed down more using the air. So they what I was told is that the titanium grid fins have more surface area to control. So while the CRS-13 one was really steep, they could even go steeper, and therefore save more fuel by slowing down more in the atmosphere. But I guess it's going to be going really fast, so don't know. It might get destroyed, it might not. Yeah. Getting a lot of messages on Twitter. I'm watching you. Yeah, you're watching me. I'm feeling watched, but that was the point of having a live stream, right? I think I can finish this. Except for the details. I'm not gonna bother you with me fiddling for an hour on these details. But yeah. Look at the time. It's not streaming time anymore. Yeah. But I'm going along, hey! I shouldn't make too much noise though. Throw some more questions at me, please. And I have something to talk about. I could talk about launch windows if you want. Also, I might make a more detailed kit for this. I have so many things I want to do, but so you can cut up the so you can cut up the interstage and have the second stage engine, and then cut up this part, and then have the third stage and then even have the fourth stage, and the fairing can go off, just like Alfonso did with second stage of the Falcon on the Falcon and the Falcon Heavy. Very No, I'm gonna refresh this page again. I'm still having enough output yet. Still working after 3 hours. I know, yeah. I actually sent him something on Facebook for the launch windows, because he told something which wasn't really correct, but yeah. Because he was talking about the launch windows and, you know, the globe, and so it was spinning, and the spinning globe goes underneath the trajectory. But actually a rocket can correct for its own trajectory, so it when it launches and its trajectory is over here, or over here, let's say, it goes onto the right trajectory and then corrects for it. But since the Falcon has supercooled fluids, it can't do it. It can't have a long enough launch window, because they timed it so they fuel it up and then they launch as fast as possible. But since most of the other companies that launch don't have the same problem, because they don't use super densified liquid oxygen, they can't launch, or they can launch just fine, because the rocket will correct for its trajectory deviation. So it will go more to the, so let's say you have the launch window here, so the ruler is my trajectory I have to go onto, and this is my my rocket. And when the Earth spins, so this is on the Earth and this is up in the air, so the Earth spins, so it goes underneath. But let's say your launch window opens here and closes when the rocket is here. When it opens, it launches, and instead of going straight through and missing the entire orbit, it just goes a little more, in this case, for you guys to the left, for me to the right, until it crosses this, and then it starts pointing a little more in the other way to correct its trajectory, and then until when it's in the right direction and it's going fast enough, it just follows the previously programmed thing, the program. But the Falcon Heavy is capable of this, it has enough performance, but having this long launch window, I think you play too much KSP. Yeah, I do. But having this long launch window, it has no use, because for polar launches, it doesn't have those 2 hours, it only has 35 minutes. And you have to program for slots of 5 minutes, and 35 minutes is way too short to get all the fuel out of the Falcon 9 and fuel it up again. So what they do, they just go right underneath 1 second and launch it straight into the trajectory. Whereas a Delta 2 or a Delta 4 just has 45 minutes to launch, because it has the performance and it doesn't use the densified propellant. But when you have a geostationary launch, it doesn't matter, because your parking orbit is not your final orbit. So the parking orbit for those 2 hours will is different, but they will make up for that. So if they launch at the end of the window, they just correct it at the equator, and yeah, that's what they do. That's why they have a 2 hour long window, because if something happens at the beginning of the window, they have the time to recycle. But mostly when they ignite the engines, it's a whole different problem, so they just scrub and go to another day. But yeah, that's how launch window works. Cut this out and send it to Everyday Astronaut. So yeah. Oh. I'm gonna construct a fairing. I'm almost done with this rocket, finally. Yes. I'm gonna finish it. Let's see. Fairing. Okay. Yeah, putting this one in. And let me score it first. Sadly, I can't put any other music on than Test Starfish. Otherwise, YouTube is going to kill the stream. I really hate YouTube for doing that. And I'm going to get a one of those copyright, not on the copyright strike, but they're going to say I have copyright on the start of the video because it uses the intro music. But if it wasn't on right now, I don't know. I should edit it out, but anyway. maybe what is it? Netflix saved me, because I just opened Netflix and was clicking, and as soon as I thought it to close, my sound on what was playing just stopped. So. There's still someone watching. Hey. I think YouTube is broken. I think there's more than one other person watching this. YouTube, you're broken. I've broken YouTube. Or YouTube has broken my computer. That's also an option. getting tired. I'm going to get something. I'm going to check what the battery level of this is. It's still half the charge. Yeah. You know who he is? Who? Everyday Astronaut. Yeah, I know who he is. I even sent him a message asking if I could send Venmo anywhere because I want to send him a paper stack of STS-133, which is the last flight of the Shuttle Discovery, but I have no reaction and I don't know what to. Well, I have no. I got no reaction from him, so I guess I should send it again sometime. But yeah, I don't have it built yet, so. So I listened to the alternating between browser tabs. Okay, so yeah, I could make this into a sort of podcast while building. I really enjoy this. I'm gonna do this, I think, every week. No, not every week. As much as I want to do it every week, I'm not able to do it every week, but I'd love to. But next week is not an option because I'm in The Hague for a Model United and MUN, so Model United Nations, which is pretty fun. We get to talk about topics which actually are talked about in. Yeah, you saw me asking. Well, we get to talk about topics which in the United Nations, everybody or an actual United Nations meeting where so many topics, and I'm in a General Assembly, and I'm in the UK, so I get to talk about economics. I hate economics. Well, too many people watching this stream. Yeah, way too many people watching this stream. I would love having those numbers, but those many people watching me build a rocket, nah, I don't think so. But I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna regularly stream, so I'm gonna keep getting more people watching this, and all will be good. Unlike here, yeah. Well, you might get there. It took Everyday Astronaut a year. It's gonna take me longer, but who cares? I'm enjoying this, so that's what counts, right? I have something more to talk about. Yeah, and next launch from the ESA, or actually Arianespace, is going to be a long mission. It's going to launch 4 satellites to a geostationary transfer orbit, I think it was. Okay, let me check here. I hate telling wrong facts. Okay, Arianespace. Because they have those long ballistic arcs, it's gonna take them, I think, 3 hours, maybe more. Would be fun. But yeah, let's see. So, and that's a tip for anyone wanting to keep track of launches and what this launch is actually going to do. Not every company has them, but most of them have. They have what they call press kits, and every important event in the flight is noted there, so you can see where the rocket is going. You have some info on the rocket itself. Yeah, I will remember you. I will remember you for centuries. You get the reference? Just search for a song. Huh. If you know what I'm talking about, you think it's funny. No, it's not funny actually. But yeah. Okay, haha. Inside jokes. Okay. I have a bad sense of humor. Just accept it. But what it's going to do? It's gonna launch them to a medium Earth orbit. I think. I don't know. Hey, give me info. Give me info. I was slurpy. All those nice info. Okay, I'm weird. Okay, just accept it. Where's it going? Medium Earth orbit. Yeah. It's going to launch communication satellites to a medium Earth orbit. And there are 4 of those. And the frigate upper stage will take them all the way to around 7,000 kilometer orbit. Yeah. Yeah, I'm funny. See, I'm funny. But I see. Well, I think I'm gonna stream in 2 weeks, but I'm gonna need a rocket to build. I don't know. Give me a rocket. I wanna build something, but I don't know what. I'm gonna put a poll on Twitter, so vote on Twitter. So give me suggestions. You know some rockets. I'm not gonna build a Falcon 9. That's out of the question. Soyuz. No, that's alright. I could, but I would have to make another Soyuz because the one I'm time-lapsing, I can't time-lapse and build and live stream at the same time. Because I'm using this is my phone. This is my phone actually. Through USB, it's connected to my computer. But I could do a Soyuz, but it's gonna be like a 4 or 5 part stream. Because it takes a long time to build a Soyuz. I guess I could also do a Delta 2 or a Delta 3. Yeah, I'm gonna build a Delta 3. No, I'm gonna poll it on Twitter, but I'm gonna build a Delta 3 one time. Okay. Yeah. Delta 3 is one of the... Sadly, it only flew 3 times. I would love to have it seen being flown more. But yeah. No, there's no... Is there a new Shepard paper rocket model? No, there's not. There's none. I added... Okay. I'm gonna add it to my list. I have a word. Yeah, okay. I have a document with all the things I have to do. Okay, it's added. I'm gonna design it. If no one designs it before me, I'm gonna be the first one who designs a new Shepard rocket. Maybe I could... Yeah. Too much rockets to design. I'm also designing the launch pad for the Soyuz. The vectors and probably Buran and Energy. I already built an Energy rocket and a Buran. So sadly that's not an option. SLS. I could do SLS. Okay. So we have SLS, a Soyuz, a Delta 3. Give me all of those sweet suggestions. You should design a BFR. Yeah, that was I was thinking of that, but it's gonna be a massive rocket. But I always could ask someone who has the 3D models to send me some basic I lost the word for it. The measurements, but the dimensions. The dimensions of the model or of the 3D model, and then I could design it in paper. And maybe that's what could make me start. But the BFR is going to be difficult because you need designs. Yeah, that's also a point. I'm not really sure. Is SpaceX will design? Well, they're already building a ship, so I guess they won't. My music stopped. Should I try and put other music on or not? I'm afraid I'm gonna be kicked off YouTube. No, I'm not. We'll have to stick with Test Shot Starfish. Sorry. Yeah. Well, if Elon said they might have some short hops late next year, they should have started building the rocket already, or at least the ship, because it takes a lot of time to build it. I think. At least they might already have started construction on the engines, and maybe at least some inner tanks, because it has a tank inside of a tank for the landings, but I think you know. Yeah, the tank the tank they built was a tank for the 9-meter rocket, and they made it smaller. The 2017 BFR was bigger than the 2016. But the 2016 BFR was smaller than the 2017 BFR. No, it's the other way. Yeah, no. Okay, I'm getting tired. The BFR they said they were gonna make in 2016 was larger than the one they said they were gonna build last year. So the rocket that so the tank they designed was a 9-meter diameter tank. So they're getting to the 6-meter diameter. So they have to, I guess, make a new tank and test it. And they, on purpose, exploded the 9-meter tank. So they don't have anything to test it on. But I think it's enough to have it certified and stuff, but it's an internal design, so I don't even know if they have to have the certifications, but I think they do. Oh, was it a 9? Oh, okay, I was wrong. So the 12 diameter was the 2016 and the 9 diameter was last year. So yeah, ITS bigger than BFR. Yeah, that's right. ITS is bigger than BFR. But I think, I think, in my opinion, the BFR is more awesome than the than the ITS. People might disagree, but I think the BFR is more awesome than the ITS. Yeah, it has those tiny wings. I love those wings. Elon hates them, but I love those. Yeah, the Delta wings, yeah. I love those. Elon hates Delta wings, but they needed them for control, so yeah. They went along with it, but Elon hates them. But I love them. I think Abby could make a pretty cool cartoons out of those. No. Plastic, but elastic, ha ha ha. Funny joke. Ooh, no! Ah! Okay, this is the most awful part, and I could destroy my model with this, but who cares? Okay, quick, read the manual. Ah. just aligning the seams. Afterwards I discover it's wrong, but yeah, I've had a lot of models drop on the ground. Yeah, that's kind of annoying, but yeah. You can't change it once it has fallen on the ground, so you can't just go hocus pocus, poof, then it just reverts. And you can't like go escape and then go revert to vehicle assembly bay. It's almost half. Okay. Okay. After I finish this ferrying, I'm gonna end the stream because it's getting way too late and I still wanna cut down the stream and publish it and reject any copyright strikes. So yeah. How many hours? I've been streaming now. It's almost 3.5 hours now. Well, that's just because I am a dire. I'm not giving up very quickly, so. Too late. Wait, you're an hour. Wait, it's 20 past 1 at your place, or not? Or not? Let's see. Yeah, too late. Yeah. I'm gonna end this soon. But, okay, so you have an extra hour. It's 20 past 12 at over here, so yeah. Should go and sleep. That's way too late. Well, good night then. I will finish this up and then I'm going to sleep too because it's way too late. See you in 2 weeks. I'm gonna stream again in 2 weeks. Just check my Twitter for additional updates on Twitter on exact timing, but I think it's gonna be 8 o'clock UTC, so that's 10 o'clock at your time zone, I think. I guess. Maybe I'm gonna. No, I really enjoyed the TMRO show. I just started streaming after they finished their main segments. So. Don't worry, I want to set a record. You want to set a record on what? To get it till the end. Yeah, I'm almost finished. I'm almost finished. So, look, this, and where's the other tiny piece? Shit. Did I lose it? No! Don't tell me I lost it. I had it. Give me some round. Turn down for what, dude? Oh, okay, no. Let me see. Clean up this. Okay. Well, can't find it. Yoo-hoo, tiny part, where are you? I will look for you. I will find you and I will glue you. Hello. Yeah. Yeah, I also hate it when things get lost, but I just had it. But it's not here anymore, so I guess I messed up something. Well, anyway, I'm just gonna glue this then in. I forgot the sporting of the. Okay, this is gonna look ugly, but yeah. Please don't cut my finger. I don't want to cut my finger, please. I don't want to cut my finger. I don't want to cut my finger. I don't want to cut my finger. Please don't. I don't want to cut my finger. I don't want to cut my finger. Please don't. No, I don't want to cut my finger. I feel you. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah. I'm going to rewatch the stream to see where I left the tiny part I'm missing. Oh, I found it. I have it. It's this little thing. Okay, I've put way too much glue on this. But okay, one extra tip. You all need paper towel. You need paper towels, yeah. Because when you glue this on, you will see all the glue is gonna spill out. Yeah. And if you let it dry, you get those ugly stains. But, solution. Removing the glue. Like this, and then again parts that didn't get put placed properly, just push it in and ta-da! It's clean. It's pretty clean. And same goes for the upper part of the framing. Okay. This is what I mean with not scoring those parts so cutting slightly into the tabs. They want to fold back to their original position, so they push it up and you get those well, they're not really ugly, but you get those you'll see the tab. I'll show you. I'll see the tabs from underneath. So yeah, I really need to fix my camera issue, but yeah, it doesn't matter for this. It's only a few minutes. So there it is. I've reached the end. Yes. Ta-da! Oh no, I have to put it on again. Onto this thing. And then it's really finished. Okay. Lining the seam. Et voila. Oh shit. Ah, just stay in place, you dumb tabs. Could you please work with me and not against me? I'm tired. I wanna go sleep. Yeah. Yes. Beautiful. It's done. My PSLV rocket is done. And I don't think it's correctly positioned, but well. Ugh. No. Okay, let me put off this. Hey, you. Yes, it's done. I only. Yeah. Okay. No. This is a lost cause. Do this on and I'll cut it off after it dries. So I haven't finished. I've mispositioned the fairing, but who cares? Not important, right? No, I will position it in, but not now. So I haven't finished. I can show it to you. So in two parts. I have it done. I will put a picture up on Twitter. So I guess that leaves the stream here. So thank you for watching. Thank you for watching me build a rocket, and yes, I'll see you in 2 weeks. No time next week to stream. I will not be home. So yeah, that leaves my my progress here, and see you next time. Bye bye.